Salmon along with Mark Litton, bringing you the action here today. The MISL and Fox Soccer channel. Let's take a look at our first half stats. As you see, Milwaukee out shooting Orlando 17-10 in the first half. Antonio Iriarte coming up with 5 saves for the Sharks. Marcel Feenstra 4 for Milwaukee. Orlando doing a pretty good job, Mark, to step up and block shots. They blocked 8 so far.
Well, as I mentioned earlier in the show, that was one of the goals that Orlando has to look at is committing to defending, getting 5 behind the ball, blocking as many shots as possible, making it easier for their goalkeeper. The power play is now over. Both teams are at full strength.
Again, the penalty to the Waves to Johnny Agbusi carried over for 7 seconds to start here the third period. And Orlando unable to score, so each team is 0 for 1 on its power play opportunity so far today. The Wave had their power play chance just before Orlando in the first half. Again, Milwaukee in the blue and white uniforms. They go right to left as you look at the action here in the third period. Agbusi with it. He and Troy Dosowski, the defenders right now, with Marcello Fontana at midfield. Fontana with it. Will play it in for Greg Howes. Howes and Anthony Mayer, the forwards. Back heel from Howes. Fontana will go back for Howes. Pass in, broken up, but a nice move to get it back. He'll drive one in, and that one deflected away. Rodriguez able to clear it off the end board. Howes gets it back. And now Milwaukee will recycle the possession out at midfield. Oliviero heads it down, taken by Iriarte, and the Sharks will start it back. And now Santos out hustling Rodriguez to get it for Feenstra. Orlando changing up, so Milwaukee quickly trying to get it back. Here's Howes, and Iriarte slides out to get it. Troy Dosowski coming through, and he rips one, and that might be, it could be, and it will be a three-pointer. Milwaukee leads at 11-4.
Well, Greg Howes was able to get loose on the left going into goal. Iriarte decided to come out and challenge for the ball. He made a nice sliding save to knock the ball away from Howes, but he laid the ball right in the path onto the left foot of Troy Dosowski, who just unloaded an absolute bomb for a three-pointer.
Troy Dosowski with his 12th goal of the season, his second three-pointer. Howes should get credit for the assist, which would be his second of the night and 22nd of the year, and his 91st point overall, which for now tops the league.
Playing together for quite a few seasons in the PDL with the Central Florida Craze. Drew Ducker, Santiago, Ruiz, Delgado, and Eric Vasquez, who's not here tonight, all of them had spent time with the PDL team, so they are familiar with each other even before coming into the indoor season.
Vasquez especially was off to an excellent start offensively at 14 points in 7 games as Warren Oka comes down. Oka, nice move there, nice finish, Warren Oka. Well, I'll tell you, we saw a couple of things there from them that has made him a very impressive first-year indoor player. First of all, the speed for his size, which I think is deceptive because he's much faster than perhaps he looks. And secondly, his skill and finishing ability.
Well, Oka has really come on in the second half of this season. When Milwaukee brought him into the league, he was relatively a newcomer to the indoor game. He has had quite a bit of experience outdoors, but you just saw in that goal that his composure on the ball, his finishing has really increased. As expected, Orlando's going to take a timeout to try and slow this game, and Jake Dancy's going to want to settle his boys down, try to work on containing this offensive surge coming out of Milwaukee, and start, on the other hand, getting some points of their own on the board.
Take a look at the Orlando bench right there, gathered around Jake Dancy. Oka with his second goal of the evening. Warren now with a total of 11 on the year. And, you know, it's interesting, Mark, if you look at Milwaukee offensively, obviously Howes and Leite stand out as the top two gunners on the team. But beyond that, you know, there's really nobody that jumps out. You have a big group of guys around the high 20s, low 30s as far as point totals. But yet I guess it's kind of that consistency spread out among the rest of that group of 7 or 8 players, including Oka, that have really given Milwaukee a lot of weapons.
Please. You wouldn't expect your bank teller to take back some of your money when you make a withdrawal. So why do you let the ATM take it when you need some cash? Open a checking account today at First Mariner Bank and you'll never have to pay to use the ATM. For no-fee access at more than 10,000 ATMs nationwide, look for the MoneyPass logo.
It's your money. You shouldn't have to pay a fee to get it. Switch to First Mariner Bank. We built this bank for you.
2-2 at the end of one, and then 4-4 midway through the second period. Wave getting a couple of goals midway through the second to go up 8-4. That was still our halftime score, and now they push the advantage to 9 with goals from Troy Dosowski, a three-pointer, and Warren Oka earlier in this period.
Well, it's good to see that Orlando is still being patient. There's been other games where you get the sense that they've folded their cards and they're just going through the motions to finish up the game, but they're staying in this game. They're still working hard. They're looking to get their best scoring chances.
Ball rolled through to Feenstra, but we got a foul on the Wave. Dion Jagru was getting held up as he was trying to make a move to the top of the area. And Ron Corey, good officiating, let the play continue, and then once it stops, made the call. So they'll bring it back to the point of the foul. Free kick just outside the penalty area. Mickey Jerislo shoots that one a bit high. And the rebound shot blocked. Here's Howes trying to break away. And a bouncing three-pointer put it off the frame. Great try by Howes as Iriarte was able to cover up the rebound.
Iriarte's best friend, the post. He was very fortunate to have that ball come right back to him while he's on the ground.
Well-placed shot by Howes, who again, equally effective shooting with either foot, right or left. That's one of the things that really has made him such a tremendous scorer in this league. Greg in his 8th season out of Oregon State, all 8 with the Milwaukee Wave. In fact, he's just 2 goals shy of 300 for his career, which would make him just the 2nd player in Wave history to reach that plateau. Michael King with 534 goals, the all-time leading scorer. So it's going to take Howes quite a few more seasons if he plays that long to get to that level. But he's certainly capable of doing it if he stays healthy.
Well, Michael King has just had a storied indoor career. He's definitely a rare breed. There aren't too many players who at 44, soon to be 45, are still playing at the peak of their professional sports.
Santos look for Wiesner. Now they have a chance here, but the pass deflected, and Iriarte able to cover it up. Antonio has been busy today, if not making saves, certainly active in the penalty area, scooping up balls. And Rodriguez trying to play it upfield. That one into the Milwaukee bench, and I believe we're going to have a restart top of the arc.
He was a step behind the yellow line when he played that ball out. It's coming to the top of the arc for a restart. It's also given Milwaukee an opportunity to get their restart team on the field. Orlando's going to need to be really sharp on this one. I anticipate the 3-step over with the Housey shot.
First 2-step over, and Howes shot and goal. Boy, even when you know it's coming, it's tough to stop. And Milwaukee now leads it 15-4.
It didn't look like Iriarte wanted anything to do with that ball. If you've watched the Milwaukee Wave play, you've seen that restart 100 times if you've seen it one time. And Greg Howes, his scoring percentage off of that play is unbelievable.
Well, it's been better than 50% this year. And he gets his 33rd goal of the season, second in the league behind Monterey's Dino Dolevsky.
Well, Tom, and there's a point I made earlier in the game that Jake Dancy had said that there's two things. They wanted to contain Howes, and they also wanted to avoid any unnecessary restarts in their own defensive third. And here they got the double whammy. They had Howes scoring off of the defensive restart or offensive restart.
Our next MISL TV contest is set for a week from tonight. That'll be the Wave right here at home against the New Jersey Ironmen on Fox Soccer Channel, your exclusive home of the MISL. That should be a good battle between the Wave and the Ironmen. Clock ticking down here in the third period. Leite will lay it off. Iagusi will crank one up and over. 7 seconds ago in the period as Tajani had some time there to launch a shot, but it got under it too much.
Got a little excited.
Wave now on an 11-point run since this game was tied at 4 early in the second quarter. Delgado will knock it upfield, headed on by Pottinger, and that's going to do it. So good third period for Milwaukee as they outscore the Sharks 7-0. We will come back with the fourth quarter. More MISL Game of the Week from the...
No, any day. It's a tough pass back from Brett Wiesner, but Marcel Feenstra has very good feet. Very composed on the ball, and I think that's what's...
Giveaway there, Felipe Laval, and he lost the touch trying to make a move. Busio running out.
As I was saying, he's very composed, and he's helped on the defensive end to get Milwaukee out of their backfield.
Well, Feenstra was able to limit Orlando to just 4 points last time these clubs met back in Orlando. And I think he's been a bit more challenged tonight because the Sharks have certainly had some more opportunities than they did in that game. Here's Laval trying to get through, couldn't quite do it, and now Deco able to take it away from Milwaukee.
You know, Tom, you have to give Orlando so much credit with the way their season has gone and just so many disappointing games that they still come out here. They're down by 11 points and they're still playing as if they're going to win this game.
Santos took a shot that deflected through. I believe he was the last person from the Wave to touch it, and he'll get credit for a goal. That will be his first career hat trick.
It looked like the ball got caught in between Iriarte and Ducker on the boards. It bounced around a little bit and snuck in behind him. It's unfortunate for Iriarte because he was right there. Just took an unfortunate deflection off of his own defender.
Jonathan Santos with perhaps his coming out party today, his first hat trick, and picks a good time to do it on national TV. He's a guy, Mark, that has been coming on as the season has evolved here in Milwaukee, and I think again we probably can't understate the fact that when he first arrived with the Wave, he was viewed as primarily a forward midfield type. They've had to put him back in defense, again, because of the injuries Milwaukee's had back there. And I think now that he's kind of gotten established back there, he's been able to raise his offensive game here a bit.
He's gotten very comfortable in the backfield. Milwaukee, due to some various injuries, were able to move him into the back line, and he responded very well. Still able to get his points. He's on the hat trick for the day as a defender.
Boy, Ruiz and Cerrone each putting one off the frame. Now Cerrone coming in with a shot that is blocked by Chico. So Milwaukee up by 13 at 17-4. Doesn't seem like the deficit should be this wide. Orlando has definitely played a much more competitive game than the score would look like at this stage.
They have, considering where they're at with their season and the fact that they're out of the playoff hunt. I talked with Jake Dancy before the game, particularly about that. You know, Jake, what are you doing now that you're out of the playoff? How do you keep you guys motivated? What is your focus and your goal for the remainder of the season? And he said to get better. We have a young team. We're only going to improve from here. He wants to keep his guys motivated, keep them in the games, and start building for next year.
Feenstra stops Jerisolo. Ducker will track that one down. Now Santiago. Troy Dusowski stepping in front of Pottinger. Feenstra playing out to midfield. What happened is Howes was changing with Leite, so Leite had to wait for Howes to get to the bench, so he didn't step on the field too quickly.
Now, Milwaukee at this point does not want to give up any unnecessary blue cards. If Leite would have come onto the field too soon while Howes was not off the field, it would have been too many men on the field. It would have been a blue card, and Orlando would have went on the power play. So good decision for Marcio to wait, even though they didn't gain possession of the ball at that moment.
Almost midway through the fourth quarter. Sharks, by their period score, really haven't been a bad fourth quarter team. They're only a -13. They've been outscored 79-66. But again, a lot of these situations, they've already been out of the game, and basically the opposition defense has probably given them a little more space. But still, I think it reflects well on the spirit. They haven't just been rolling over and just conceding the games. So you got to like that about the Orlando contingent this year.
And there's Michael King making another appearance on the field this evening.
Leite, oh, what a move there. And a shot blocked by Iriarte. And we are going to have a media timeout. You take a look at Marcio Leite as we go to our break. Milwaukee 17, Orlando 4. Back in a moment with more. The MISL Game of the Week here from Milwaukee. Anybody can take the shootout, and it's going to be Greg Howes.
That's right. Orlando needs to line up inside the center circle. Milwaukee needs to be outside of the center circle.
All right, here we go. Howes coming in against Iriarte. He will touch it over for Leite. Shot and a goal. You see that happen occasionally. In fact, Jamar Beasley has done that to us a couple of times with both Detroit and Kansas City. And nice layoff by Howes. Easy empty net goal for Leite. And Wave leads it 19-4.
And that's a play that Orlando obviously was not expecting. Usually in that situation, you're looking at the player on the ball to go in on the goalkeeper. Liete is one of the fastest players in the league. As soon as the whistle blew, he was off on to the race, and Howes gave him a nice ball that he scored on. I have to point out that off camera, Milwaukee was very lucky not to have another blue card, because they lined up for that restart or that shootout with 5 players on the floor, and currently they're on the power play.
That will count as a power play goal.
That will be actually a shorthanded goal.
Well, it was even strength, because again Orlando was still on the power play at the time, which has now expired.
Oh yes, you're correct. That's right. They were actually at even strength at that time.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but unless there were 2 penalties there, Mark, shouldn't the shootout goal have negated the power play? Anyway,
I would think that would be the case. I was really surprised to see that Orlando still had a player in the box. But in the meantime,
if you're Keith Dozer, you're not complaining.
In the meantime, Greg Howes unloads a shot that just hits high and wide. Rebound comes to Anthony Mayer, who just has a nice little soft header to Marcelo Fontana, standing all alone at the back post for the little tap in.
Well, Fontana with his second of the afternoon, his 13th of the season. Anthony Mayer picks up the assist. Anthony gets his second helper of the day. Well, again, the only thing I can think of is that because the penalty occurred during the even strength, that's why it did not negate a power play situation. So that was the correct call. That's kind of unusual. You don't see that too often. But Milwaukee was technically the short-handed team until the penalty occurred, which granted them the shootout. So there was an even strength goal, and that's why they did get the power play after that. King trying to set up Oral Bullen, and a good sliding tackle that time by the goalkeeper, Iriarte.
90 seconds. I'm looking for our friends at Mary Queen.
Not much time left in this one, and Milwaukee, 17 consecutive points since they were tied up at 4 midway through the second period. Milwaukee going to go to 17-7 overall, 10-2 here on their home turf, as foul going to be called against Michael King for the Wave. And Sharks are going to drop to 3-23, 1-12 on the road as Orlando loses its 7th straight. Don't forget, we will be right back here at the U.S. Cellular Arena a week from tonight when the Wave will host the New Jersey Ironmen. So join us for that one, 8 o'clock Eastern Time on Fox Soccer Channel, your source for the Major Indoor Soccer League. 40 seconds to go as Milwaukee still pressing for another goal.
Money Miller, money in your mailbox. Newland Enterprises, the official home of the Milwaukee Wave.
And Santos called for foul there as he knocked down Valle. Santos, one of the offensive stars from Milwaukee. He had a hat trick today. Warren Oka and Marcello Fontana also with a pair of goals for the Wave. And Greg Howes, the league's scoring leader, had a goal and 3 assists for Milwaukee. 10 seconds ago as Oka plays it up ahead to Santos, chased by caution. Santos coming in, but meanwhile behind the play we got a penalty called as Warren Oka was tangled up with somebody. Warren really hot right by the Wave bench. They try to grab him and settle him down. Now Oka was battling upfield as he was battling there, I believe, with Jorge Valle, and at any rate, Warren taking a bit of offense. He's going to get called for a penalty here with just 7 seconds left to go in the contest. And a good job by the officials to step in right away and keep things from going any further than that. Fifth penalty of the contest and the third against Milwaukee. So Sharks will finish this game on the power play, but not much time to operate. And that's going to do it. Milwaukee with a big win today before the home fans as they defeat the Orlando Sharks by the score of 21-4, scoring the last 17 points in the contest.
Mark Litton standing by with one of the stars of today's game.
Greg, going into the locker room at halftime, Milwaukee is up 8-4. What were some of the things that Coach Tozer talked about coming out for the second half?
Well, you know, we were pretty happy with our first half. You know, we wanted to have a little better lead, but we worked on getting our shifts a little bit shorter. First half, we were extending them a little bit. Our possession suffered. We started to move the ball 1 and 2 touch. Started making them chase the game, and they got tired. And I mean, obviously, we shut them out the second half and put up a bunch of points. So that was our game plan. They played Friday, so we knew we had one game this weekend, tire them out. And you know, they're an expansion team. They struggled to get some wins this year, and you know, battling for us bye in the first round. We weren't going to let them come in here and knock us off. So it's a you know, a good win for us, and we're looking forward to next week.
Well, going into the fourth quarter, there was an actual shootout opportunity, which we don't see indoors too often. We saw something a little different on this shootout. Tell me a little bit about how you set that up.
Well, I mean, it's almost a respect thing to be able to take those shootouts and penalty kicks. And Marcio is, you know, the most skilled player in the league, probably our most dynamic guy, probably a better option on the shootout. But I told him to go ahead and sprint up the side, and you know, and I'd get him a goal. So fortunately, the keeper wasn't ready for it, and I don't think he's had too many that easy. But you know, it's a team game, and you know, anything we can do to put some points on the board. I know Marcio's you know, a great young player, and we're expecting big things out of him. And you know, in a final, I don't know if I could look him in the eye and take that one, but we'll see. Hopefully, we get there.
Well, that's Greg Howes of the Milwaukee Wave. Good luck with the remainder of the season, Greg. I know you're chasing the scoring title. I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That.
Greg Howes in contention for another league scoring title. Milwaukee in contention for another league title. So they come up with a big win here today against Orlando. Let's take a look at the final numbers. Wave out shooting the Sharks by 11. And each goalkeeper coming up with 14 saves. Marcel Feenstra coming back for another victory as he spelled Nick Warburg today. Iriarte taking the loss for Orlando. We'll be right back here for our next telecast. It's a week from tonight, right here from the U.S. Cellular Arena, with Milwaukee hosting the New Jersey Ironmen. Join us for the telecast, 8 o'clock Eastern Time, the MISL on Fox Soccer Channel. For Mark Litton, Tom Wynn, wishing you a good Milwaukee.